are the Seattle Seahawks your Super Bowl champions?
Well, let me answer that question by asking you two questions. One, is this or is this not the XFL? Yes, it is. Two, do I or do I not currently have a pulse? Yes, I do. Let's play football.
Oh, happy day it is. Hello, folks. Welcome to the 323, a literal Sunday hangover. The first actual Sunday hangover on a Sunday that'll, I guess you'll be hearing on a Monday, but, you're hungover. So enjoy it with us.
And we started right at midnight.
Right at midnight. So, yeah, but we were in here before. So by legal standards, we met our quota.
The link was sent before.
That's right. It's literal proof. And in West Coast, it's still Sunday.
Yeah, you guys are still good. It's still Super Bowl Sunday out here.
Olympics are in Italy. I think it's Monday there. I don't know what time. It doesn't matter over there.
Baboni!
That's right.
Hawaii's chilling right now.
Yeah, Hawaii's chilling. Yeah. If you're with us, you're with us. I'm your host, Reid Murphy. Joined tonight post Super Bowl by America. We're talking about America, everything that we're going through. We got Zuhair Ali, host of Zoo's Views, the Seahawks fan himself. Congrats to you. It's a very happy day. You can really be on your Vin Diesel tonight. Oh, happy day. Also joining us from the West Coast, repping that time, and he'll be giving us his review of the Turning Point USA halftime show. We have the Big Chief Burrito, Luis Martinez. How's it going, buddy?
My name is Big Chief Burrito.
Welcome. Oh, man. Guys, it was a fun night, and hopefully everybody watching, listening, whenever you are, I hope you had a good time, a safe time, and you're full. And literally, we talk about the Sunday hangover. This is what it means. The post-Super Bowl hangover is just the grossest time in the world, but thankfully it hasn't bubbled up fully for me. But it's, we're getting there. I had some good food. We'll go over our food choices a little bit later, but I want to get to our resident Seahawks fan, our senior Seahawks correspondent, formerly the Commandalorian, but for the postseason, he is our full Hawks correspondent, Zuhair Ali. Congrats to you. The Seattle Seahawks are your 2025-2026 Super Bowl 60 champions, beating the New England Patriots 29-13. Game did not feel as close as that, but also didn't feel like a blowout either. So I don't really know how to describe that game. But your feelings on it, Zoo, and take us through your night.
I mean, we called it to a T. It was mostly a defensive game, lots of offensive struggles, needed a couple of explosive plays to go off, which Kenneth Walker, now game MVP, definitely provided. Weren't as big as we were hoping. We didn't have any big JSN plays. Sorry about that 80-plus yards parlay that I put in. Didn't get that. Didn't get the nipple show. Didn't get the 17 points. So I did not win on that part, but it's okay because the Seahawks are your Super Bowl championship.
Didn't get the completions either.
What was the last one?
The completions.
Oh, yeah, we didn't get the completions. Yeah, the Drake Maye 19 completions.
Oh, yeah.
Everything, yeah.
But yeah, that went about how we called it. I even said that the last time that they won the Super Bowl, they had this really tight game with the division championship, and then it was just a blowout from them. From there, the Broncos got this like pity touchdown in the fourth quarter. That's exactly what happened today too. Definitely won the turnover battle. Darnold wasn't dangerous with the ball. I think he only got sacked once throughout the whole night too. So hats off to the offensive line for doing their job. Myers breaking the record for the amount of points accumulated by a kicker throughout the game. Fantastic. I mean, there was a couple of times where just like, man, they're just like being too soft, they're playing it too safe. But at the end of the day, it won them the game, and that's what matters. So they had an incredible season. They definitely deserve to be on the stage, and they showed why they were the best team in the NFL this time.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Craigers, who's the biggest Seahawks fan that I got and was on board with the Darnold train from the beginning. It's funny how you can dump a Hall of Fame coach and Geno Smith, replace coach and Sam Darnold, and all of a sudden you have a Super Bowl champion. K-Bone Walker, the kickers, fucking Darnold having just the right amount of magic and not being fucking scared. And can we talk about the fucking schedule aided counterfeit fucking Patriots, Drake May turning back into Drake Maybe. Oh man, it's so fun.
Drake may or may not.
Sit your non-Hall of Fame owner ass down and be mad for 3 hours, and on top of that, have to watch Baboni.
It was, yeah, not a night for Boston. I can't imagine, I don't know Boston. I haven't been to Boston, but I can only assume things about Boston from what I've heard about Boston. They probably weren't crazy about the Bad Bunny halftime show, but that's just a reckless assumption. I don't know.
A lot of Puerto Ricans and Dominicans in Hartford and in Boston.
See, that's me judging a book by its cover. And I was wrong for it, but still, fuck Boston. So we continue on.
One of my cousins is actually in school in Boston, repping Seattle stuff right now, so she's definitely hauling around, going "fuck Boston."
That's a tough night. Yeah, that's a tough time.
Not for her. She's having a great time.
I agree with you with both of you just about what an awesome feeling this is for Seattle and for the Seahawks. Like, I completely doubted this team all year. I completely doubted them going into the postseason, just thinking this is going to be the same thing that we've seen teams like Sam Darnold with Minnesota beforehand, where, they're fun for the regular season. It'll fall apart, but my God, dude, what a team. Like, what a team. I'll give it to Mike Macdonald too, for how he coaches them up. That defense is just insane. And I was thinking the entire game, Jason Myers is probably going to be the Super Bowl MVP, just because that's the only points coming out of this game. It's the only thing going. But it wasn't for, lack of effort by Seattle. That defense was just insane. And the pass rush between just everybody of DeMarcus Lawrence, who I'm happy for, fuck Dallas. He said he couldn't win a Super Bowl in Dallas, immediately wins one in Seattle.
That's circulating on Twitter right now, has me dying.
Good for him. And Boye Mafe, my dude Riley Willis, who's just a monster. I'd never seen him before, but just freakish, arm length, like crazy, which also brought up a point, and I remember Scott bringing this up last year when we were doing our draft coverage we were talking about Will Campbell. And Will Campbell was supposed to be one of the top tackles in the draft last year, but the only thing that people kept bringing up, which I thought was silly, was arm length. And we saw it just straight up in this game. Both offensive lines were kind of getting bullied, at least in the first half. Seattle kind of got it a little bit under control in the second half. But New England's offensive line, and especially those two rookies on the left side, were just taking a beating from Seattle all night. And you could just see Will Campbell, as much of a stud of a tackle as he is, could not keep up physically with those dudes who were coming at him. And it looked like an arm thing. He was just getting pushed back and powered right through. So it's crazy to watch those things, those scouting things show up in big moments and big games like that. And it makes me a little bit concerned as a Commanders fan who's been really in on Reuben Bain Jr. from Miami, and they keep talking about his arm length. Let me hold back a bit, but that was an awesome team win for Seattle. Crazy that Jackson Smith and Jigba wasn't even really that much of a factor throughout it, which also taking a lot of coverage and taking a lot of reads there. So it was, opening up opportunities for Cooper Kupp and Rashid Shaheed, who was also still quiet throughout. But Sam Darnold did what he had to do in the moment, and give credit to him. I love his journey. I love his attitude towards all of it. And, no ill will towards the Jets, no ill will towards the Panthers. It was kind of cool watching Kyle Shanahan in the pregame earlier, hype up Sam Darnold and talk about how, they were happy that they could just be like a stop on his journey and, try to boost him up when he was in San Francisco, and proud to see him.
I liked all the love that he was giving to Brock Purdy earlier on too.
Also, there was an observation I had about Kyle Shanahan. Shockingly good looking when he's cleaned up. And I was shocked to see him cleaned up. I've never seen his hair. His hair was done. Looked like he got a haircut. Wore a suit. It was crazy. I could never imagine Mike like that. It just would not be comfortable. But overall, I thought it was a fine enough Super Bowl. The one thing that I just kept coming back to me, and it was a moment, I think, in the third quarter, they showed Super Bowl watch parties in Germany, Super Bowl watch parties in Mexico, Super Bowl watch parties in Brazil, all these different countries, all over the world, people celebrating the Super Bowl. And Roger Goodell walking around in an all black, fit, just literally almost patting himself on the back, because it was the second year in a row we had kind of a shitty, boring Super Bowl for the most part, but we know there's hundreds of millions of people watching this thing, and he's got the biggest product in the fucking world. The NBA doesn't compete, no sports leagues compete. He's competing with Apple and Google like he was promising.
Surprising because there's a boycott since Kaepernick. So I was like, how are people still why are people still watching? I thought you guys tuned out.
I thought about that too. Why were these people mad about the halftime show? I thought they gave up on the NFL when Kaepernick did all that.
They're singing "Raise Every Voice." They're what I mean. They're out there. It was a big get mad day.
Not gonna lie, and I'll get you all's other observations from the game. I doubted Charlie Puth. I got to give props to Charlie Puth. I doubted him. I didn't think it was going to be a good. I was like, why Charlie Puth for the national anthem? That was a good anthem. I enjoyed it listening while I was trying to cook and stress finish all the food like I was on the bear.
Our Gen Alpha apprentice said he was very extra.
I mean, you do what you do, but I enjoyed all.
I thought he sped it up a little bit at the end. I thought when he first started, I was like, this is going over. He's taking his time, and then all of a sudden at the end, it was free.
Yeah, he had the under. Yeah. Charlie Puth definitely took the under on that bet.
Yeah, he had the under. At the end, he was like, let's wrap this bitch up and make this money.
Looking at all the props, I was kind of disappointed because I think, we saw that Cardi B, I think the over-under was 1.5 appearances during the thing. I didn't see her we hit the under. I didn't see her outside of the halftime show, and even then, that was very brief, which also Pedro Pascal, Jessica Alba, Alex Earl, for some reason, all in that halftime show dancing at the
Lady Gaga, Ricky Martin.
Oh my God. Okay, we'll get into the halftime show in a minute. That's going to be its own thing. And Ricky Martin could be its own thing. My God, he looks good. It's incredible. Whatever age, I'm about to look him up. But outside of that, we're going to dedicate some time to the halftime show. I want to get observations from each of you. Zoo, was anything outside of the main game, what caught your attention from the Super Bowl? Did you enjoy the day? Did you enjoy the atmosphere where you were at?
It was fine. There were Super Bowl fans, but it was just, or football fans, it was just quieter than I had hoped. On the one touchdown, I'm jumping up screaming, and everyone's just like, "Oh, cool! Finally, we got a touchdown." It's I get that it was a defensive game, and there wasn't really too much to cheer for, but I mean, I was jumping, so. Kind of wish it was more of a bumping environment, but I got to go to my friend's house and celebrate with somebody I knew, so I'll take the win there. And then there was some people, I guess one of the guys didn't know that the whole halftime show was going to be in Spanish. So he was like, oh, that's going to piss a lot of people off. And then like there was like arguments between both sides. And I'm like, can you guys talk about this later or take it to another room or just shut the fuck up so I can enjoy the music going on right now? Like, I don't know. So yeah, for the most part, it was fine. It was enjoyable. I wish I could have been like with some of my Seattle family or at least like some other Seattle fans or stuff, but I'll take what I can get. Like everybody else, like during the speeches and trophy ceremony, like everyone was just talking and I'm just sitting in the chair, just like happy and grinning, watching stuff. So yeah, it was a fine Super Bowl experience.
I just like
emotionally, I'm super happy, but experience was just fine.
I like the breaking news to that one guy at the party, though.
I know,
like,
right?
Just caught up there at the end.
Gonna get
like,
political.
This is gonna piss people off, huh?
This is not the conversation I wanted to have right now. Please shut the fuck up and just let me listen to music.
How could they not be speaking it?
That'll be our segue into the halftime show. But Luis, what were your observations from the Super Bowl as a whole?
Listen, I might have. I was sitting with my barber last week, and I was like, I like the blowout, dude. I was like, let's put in a bet. Let's go. I said, let's go Seattle minus 9.5. I wanted to do Seattle minus 14, and I still would have won. So I took Seattle minus 9.5 because that line was fucking ridiculous. And because fuck the Patriots forever and a day. So that was the best part about me, that it was that the Patriots fucking just choked the fucking giant dick and didn't do shit. Felt good for Sam Darnold. We should have kept him and given him weapons. This is very, very clear. He didn't see ghosts. He fucking became a journeyman quarterback. He became a game manager that became a Super Bowl champion. They lost JSN, and they still fucking managed a way to win. Bone Walker was the man today. That fucking stutter step into the line, waiting for his fucking holes. Darnold had a couple of throws that could have gone, that were just a little bit off, or it would have been an even bigger blowout if they would have hit that lob to JSN that would have gone for a touchdown. The Cooper Kupp miscatch, stuff like that. So I thought it was an impressive performance by Seattle, an impressive performance by a new coach, an impressive performance by Darnold, and that defense was off the meat rack. Leonard Williams in the middle, another ex-Jet. I think that's a Leonard Williams that's on Seattle. I may be mistaken. I was impressed. The only thing that impressed me about New England was Christian Gonzalez, who might be the best cornerback in the game right now. He was the only thing that kept it fucking close, and somehow was shutting down JSN. And JSN might have been a little bit tweaked, but still shutting him down is a big fucking deal. This sets up Seattle pretty fucking well, man. Like in an AFC heavy year, the NFC fucking pulls it out. They get a weak representative from the AFC. But really the most important thing for me as a Latino was the halftime show. And I made a mistake because right before the halftime show, I was like, I'm going to chop all these onions real quick. Because I was making some guacamole. And I was like, chop, onions, chopping them. And then when Benito got out there and just went full Latino, like not giving a fuck, having to wear a fucking motherfucking bulletproof vest. So you had that bulky ass jersey on. You know, you're at the fucking edge of your seat, because this guy's representing all Latinos right now. Puerto Rican, an American territory, more American than, 8 other performers that people cheered on, than the Canadians and people that have been here before. Naming out all of America, from Mexico to Colombia to Canada, and really just having all the baddies. Like there was no baddies anywhere else because they were all dancing on stage with him. He had like all the Latina mommies there. and just like making everybody proud, like the bold statement in this political climate, just being unapologetically Latino and Puerto Rican was like seriously not making a joke out of it, but I got choked up watching it towards the end, and and the fact that it makes like racist and the ultra right mad is just like mwah, like just so much bonus. And then he ends up with a flyer that says the only thing more powerful that can more powerful than hate is love. And just like his Grammy speech, like if you're choosing to call that political or call that incorrect, then you're just a rotten person. So I thought it was emotional. I'm putting it it's not Prince singing Purple Rain in Miami in the rain, but it might not be Paul McCartney like just doing his Beatles classic. It might not be Michael Jackson at the Rose Bowl popping up in front of 90,000 people. But it's definitely, I believe, because of the moment that we're in, because of who he is, where he's from, what he represents, I think a top 5 Super Bowl performance for me.
Yeah. Honestly, like I was having that same feeling, right? Like it was just all of this discourse has been just insane to me, and it's something we haven't really talked about, and we've been aiming to not get too political on the show because it's not comfortable really in these times right now. But to me, the idea that this was even a political controversy was insane, that this needed to be, and it was just a sign of ignorance and a sign of stupidity that people keep talking that on another wherever, I don't even know, like Sinclair channels couldn't air the Turning Point halftime show. X couldn't air the Turning Point halftime show because of licensing issues that they didn't clear up going into the thing, because I guess they had idiots in charge of, the production on that. That they call that thing the Real American Halftime Show, and to keep calling it we're going for real American music and all this stuff, when they're complaining, they're saying he's not an American, he's Puerto Rican, he's more considerable to get the presidency than a lot of the fucking assholes that are trying to run for this thing and run this country. So like the fact that you're making such a controversy and such a shit show over this dude who puts out good ass music, whether you speak Spanish or not. And I'm somebody, I don't speak Spanish, but I've been listening to Bad Bunny for years now because dude puts out fucking bangers. Like his album, I love Kendrick Lamar, I love GNX. I went to that concert down in North Carolina, but I was happy that Bad Bunny won Album of the Year at the Grammys because it was a damn good album. It definitely deserved it. And that's how you know when you don't even speak the language and you can still fucking vibe to it and party with it. It's a good time. So I was so happy for him, and I was so proud of him, and I was proud of everybody that felt that representation. Like you,
it was the Latino version of the Kendrick moment. I think honestly, it was because it was like the same people that didn't understand the Kendrick show, the same people that were like, oh, what is this? This isn't American. He's like, no, he was talking about Black experience in America, and the entire show was telling you Black Americans are part of the American experience, and this is our experience, so you're gonna fucking listen to us. And Puerto Rican Americans and Latino Americans are part of the American experiences. More Puerto Ricans have bled and died for this country in World War I, World War II, Vietnam than any other ethnic group. And for somebody to say, they basically pulled a Phillip Rivers, they had to go get Kid Rock off the couch. And he's out there fucking lip singing a fucking song that he culturally appropriated. Nothing says American like culturally appropriated hip hop music that you turn into a country song. And so I don't want to cut you off, Reid, but I felt like that was the equivalent there. That it was like on par. Those two performances were unapologetically Black, unapologetically Latino, and in your face about the fact that we are here, we are part of the American experience, we are Americans, and we're not going to stand by and just sit aside while our friends and neighbors are kidnapped and brought dead, like not given fair due process and all these other shit that's going on. And for anybody to say that saying that is un-American doesn't understand this country is based on no kings, process of law, and being able to speak truth to power. So I'm glad that I'm honestly like all the dudes that are mad that saying they wasn't speaking. Your girl wanted to watch the Bad Bunny show. You know, your mom wanted to watch the Bad Bunny show. All that putting on the Turning Point USA halftime show is like a real life version of Scaring the Hose. Because nobody wants you to switch the channel and put on fucking old ass Kid Rock lip sing "Ba with the Ba" in this climate. So Baboni for the win.
Yeah, that's where it was, and it just I hate that it's at that point where, like you were talking about him wearing the bulletproof vest and all, and it had the same kind of uneasy, like happy but uneasy feeling that I had, and like I remember, and it sticks to me from when Obama was elected president the first time in 2008 and his inauguration, and they're doing the parade and walking down and everything, where I'm very happy for him, and it's such a incredible feeling and an awesome moment with my family and seeing how they feel and how it was like a thing that we never thought we'd see, but also this uneasy feeling of like these idiots in this world might just take this away in a second. They might take away the entire thing. And
hey, Reid,
yo,
I would have voted him a third time if I could.
That you don't have to say that. The person, this is the thing, and this is what's beautiful about this show, and what this beautiful about that halftime show. And like, I've been pissed off all year. Pissed off all of last year, and wanting to be on this feeling of like, I can't stand this country. I can't stand what we're doing, everything, and having to remind myself and kind of getting the reminder during that halftime show that I'm not pissed off at this country because this country is my country. The U.S. is our country. It does not represent the mass ignorance and idiocy of like a minority. And these people who can't even tell you that Puerto Rico is a fucking territory of the U.S.
Talking shit about our athletes in Italy because they're out there saying,
right.
Look, I love this country. It's kind of hard to be an athlete representing America when all this shit is happening. And those athletes being told by the president that they're disgusting and that they shouldn't be on the team, and fucking Jake Paul tweeting that these guys should get off the fucking, like, listen, man, Jake Paul needs to fucking shut the fuck up, or he needs to be just get the next person to knock your fucking teeth out or break his jaw a fourth time. I don't know. This
country looks like what's on this show, and that's why I love this show and I love this group.
We need to
outside of one, outside of Scott, and that's why we kept him off tonight. He's reporting.
We need a Bollywood. We need a Bollywood halftime show just to complete the circle next year.
That's true. Like, Zoo, you had the Seahawks, but who like, what if we could follow this trend? Because now I had Kendrick last year. Luis had Bad Bunny this year. Who do you get next year?
I don't.
Scott had the Kid Rock show today, so
yeah, Scott had Kid Rock. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
Scott had Steely Dan a few years ago. I don't know.
I don't know who has like that level of impression right now.
What if what's this dude from like that has that? Wait a minute, that last song. What about that dude he's got the car inside the circle thing in the video? Who's that guy?
I don't know.
I think his name is like Hunan or something. It's like a real pop. It was like the song this last year on like TikTok and shit for Instagram reels.
I know Zoran Mamdani used to be a rapper, so he would be a
Ooh, that would get Zoran.
That would be
Zoran, dude.
Ultimately, like,
I would say I love the diversity of Cat's Eye. They'd be awesome to see on the stage next year.
Yeah. Dude, it's just the representation. And the NFL, I think the NFL did a pretty good job of it this year. Kind of like a subtle middle finger to it all, of like a lot of representation between, Coco Jones doing Lift Every Voice and Sing, Brandy Carlisle kind of being a representation of the LGBTQ community, doing America the Beautiful, Charlie Puth for, the Charlie Puths of the country. And
I'm bummed I didn't get to watch that because I actually really like Charlie Puth's voice.
it was good.
I'll catch it later.
Yeah, it was a cool halftime.
I was bummed I missed Green Day too.
Green Day was fun. Green Day was very fun. They did a lot more songs than I was expecting them to. It was a good medley. That was I didn't realize I love Green Day as much as I do. And them doing Time of Our Lives, that song, while having like a bunch of the former Super Bowl MVPs come out, and Jalen Hurts. Get the fuck out of here. Get that Eagles representation up out of here.
When they brought up that same ad for the flag football, I was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot this was a thing.
Yeah, and that's something that we'll get to at some point now that the Olympics are here, because now I've been like going back over. I'm like, who's making that team? Yeah, and is Jalen Hurts still on there, even though he's in the commercial?
Also, apology, I'm spamming your text with like Super Bowl memes right now.
Oh, you're fine. Do your thing. We'll get Luis back in a second, but Zoo, how did you enjoy the halftime show? Because overall, I had a fun time. I was just partying. I was amazed that Ricky Martin's 54 and just like gorgeous looking. Like I didn't
know who that was until you said it on this show.
Do your thing, man. And Pedro Pascal was in there dancing, and I thought I saw him for a second, and I was like, I'm not gonna say. I'm like, I think I saw Pedro Pascal, because I was like, that's a little.
Was that actually him?
It popped up later. They were like, Pedro Pascal right here. I was like, oh shit, thank God.
It was like early on, right?
Yeah.
I thought I saw him, and I was just like, I'm not gonna say that out loud, because what if I'm wrong?
Yeah, exactly. That's what. Did you enjoy the musical elements of the Super Bowl today?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Like when Bad Bunny songs come on, I enjoy them, but I don't like actively listen to him, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like if he were to pop on the radio or pop on like on whatever or on a shuffle, like I vibe with it, but it's not like one of the things I like put on loop, right? So I was looking forward to the show because I know how much influence he has around the world and how much people love his music and appreciate his music. So it's just one of those things where it's like, because other people are excited, I was excited to experience why they were excited, right? And obviously there was going to be a lot of like cultural influence and stuff. And because I didn't understand like anything, I was curious like how much of it was part of the songs and how much was messaging, because I didn't know like his songs like that. I didn't know his catalog. So the imagery of everything was gorgeous. Like the appreciation for like working in the fields, how everything in the stage work was based off of like reality and not making it flashy just because of the stage that they were on. So I did really like those symbolic elements to that. And there was an Instagram page. I'm sorry, I can't remember what it was to give to credit, that actually did a breakdown of like all the symbolism in there. So the whole time I was watching the show, all I could think about is I was excited for that to pop up so I could like really see just all the stuff that I could have missed while doing it. So I was vibing with the music for sure. And overall, like, it's not like I wasn't like blown away, like, oh my God, this is one of the coolest ones yet. But I really enjoyed the performance and the stage work and the music and everything that was out. And of course, the impact that it had to the community, as Luis elegantly shared.
Yeah, it was just a beautifully done show, and a lot of elements I could see similarities to the live concert Bunny did. It was back a few months ago. He did his show they did it live on Prime from Puerto Rico, his last show that he was doing there. It was just an awesome time. They even brought the electric substation from down the street and put that in the show.
The electric poles had significance. The sugar cane.
You see McCaffrey just sprint out of there as soon as it comes up.
The other thing is, the wedding was real because somebody had wanted him to perform at his wedding.
Yeah, that was insane.
The wedding was real. The little kid falling asleep during the party right there. That all that stuff was significant. The electric
when he was
poles,
holding the trophy, I was like, "Don't drop it! Don't drop it!
Don't drop
it! That's probably the real thing. Don't drop it."
There was just like there's the breakdowns of Kendrick's how they were standing, what the each prop is. There's definitely a breakdown of how in your face this was. My favorite part was just when he was naming all the countries, though.
Oh yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah,
that was beautiful. That one had me like that one. Oh,
because like when the flags came out, I was like, I wonder which flags these are. And then the fact that he actually went through every single one, I was like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he was on it.
Yeah, it's gonna be very hard to top next year, and I like doing this every year. Your early pick right now for next year's halftime show. Who would you want to see, and who do you think it would be if you have to do a bold, way too early prediction?
Shit, I'm gonna do Cat's Eye for both.
Let's manifest it.
Yeah,
let's make that happen.
I think they have to steer into. I think they're gonna go super white. So I would say like Sabrina Carpenter or like where is it next year?
That's a great question, actually. It's not Vegas, I don't believe. It's going to be...
Is it back in Florida?
SoFi. It's going to be in SoFi in California, so it'll be in California again.
Oh, another California. Shit. Huh. Fuck. SoFi again?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. They might go Sabrina Carpenter or they might go K-pop.
I wouldn't be mad at a K-pop one. Now that I've finally seen K-pop Demon Hunters. And I like more songs from it outside of Golden. Shout out Free.
Hell, Blackpink would be a sick one.
They could just do a whole thing. I would love to. BTS is back together. They're out of the army. So, that would be a big one to line up. I do agree that I could see them going a super white route. They're trying to build Sabrina Carpenter up. They're trying to build that status up. She's with the Muppets.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
I wouldn't be mad at it. Harry Styles has a new album coming out. So I could see
How did we not talk about Lady Gaga, by the way?
Yeah, that was also... Yeah, shout out Gaga.
Gaga was on it.
I kind of hope they release...
I love that song, too, so she nailed it.
I hope they release like a remix of that now. Give me like a good salsa remix of that. I don't know who would take the Bruno part, though.
Can you name
Gaga doing the whole thing?
Can you name one other person that was in the Kid Rock show?
Unfortunately,
I didn't see anything of it. Like, I don't care.
I unfortunately can, because when I saw her name, I remembered Gabby Barrett. I was like, Gabby Barrett? Where do I know that name from? She was on American Idol a few years ago when it got revived on ABC, and I remember she came up as like a runner-up on there, but I was like, she's kind of an asshole from what I remembered on the show. And then seeing her as part of that, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that fits, I guess.
Maybe Morgan Wallen. I'm thinking the only country person I know.
I think he's too big
for
that.
This streaker gained more yards than the Patriots offense. This is amazing.
Do we like that they don't show the streakers? I understand why they don't show the streakers. You don't want to give them credit, but you're talking about it.
Players actually chased him down, too. That's insane.
It looked like he tore his ACL from the videos that I saw of how he got taken down. Like, it looked like he buckled before he went down on the ground from one angle that I saw.
Yeah, because he was like trying to slide and like his right leg locked up.
How are you going to be the streaker and you're going to slide?
But I thought what you were going to ask is like an early, like, okay, I'm going to just off the top of my dome, Tom Petty for me is a top 5 Super Bowl performance when he did his. And I think that Prince and Michael Jackson are a top 2 for me. And I think that beyond them two, I'm not a huge Shakira fan. I wasn't a Beyonce, Rihanna, The Weeknd in recent ones. I'm definitely putting Bad Bunny in my top 5, along with Prince number 1, Michael Jackson number 2. And then I think some combination of what I said, Tom Petty and the Beatles guy. I think those are my favorite performances. Are there any guys? Are they beyond you guys? Is like maybe you put Kendrick and Beyonce in your top 5, Reid? I don't know in terms of like Super Bowl performances.
If I have to and I'm trying not to, like, I usually would let it simmer a little bit and not go too much into the recency
instant reaction.
Yeah, like with a little recency bias, Bad Bunny, that show is in my top 5. Just even purely, I already love a lot of those songs, but
just on the moment,
the technical direction too was just like, it was one of the most beautifully crafted and shot.
I know you love the Weeknd one. I know you love that one. You were telling me about that one. How much you love that one? So
I'm not crazy about that one. I could look like him, the Weeknd. Prince,
the memes are great out of it. The show itself,
great. Yeah. Prince,
Kendrick, Rihanna, Shakira,
Canadian, by the way.
Bruno Mars.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think my last one.
Prince is number 1 for me.
Purple Rain in the Rain is you can't fucking beat it.
Linkin Park is the one I would want to see. It won't happen, but I would love it if they had like an in the end in the middle of it, but ended with Heavy as the Crown. Oh my god, I would lose my shit. That would be so much fun.
Zach Brown,
because they are very international right now.
I go Prince number 1. Michael Jackson, I've watched that one quite a few times, and I can get stuck on just him commanding the audience when he first comes out. Just silence, no movement, nothing. Like, you're just gonna scream until I tell you to stop, and I perform.
Just the Sharks from Katy Perry.
The Sharks were great.
That said, Coldplay
was bad. You know what? The Coldplay, Bruno Mars, Beyonce one was kind of a fun one. Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band I put up there because they weren't.
Snoop and M and 50.
That one was fine.
That one was fun. Yeah, that was fun. Kendrick's is in the top 5 for me, just in terms of how I was feeling throughout that whole show.
I was listening to that one on the drive home.
Yeah. Weirdly, I don't see it a lot, but Justin Timberlake's from a few years back. I really enjoyed that medley, and I love the Prince. I'll forever love
the titties.
There wasn't titties in that one, unfortunately.
Oh, that was a Janet Jackson.
No titties in this one too. We didn't hit that bet. But no Bad Bunny titties. But the his medley of Until the End of Time and Prince. I can't remember the exact song at the moment, but that was really awesome and memorable. Those are all probably from my top 5 right there. I can't remember the Tom Petty one quite off the top of my head. Bruno Mars doing his solo show and bringing out the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That was a fun ass time.
Yeah, there's a lot to pick. There's a lot to pick from. Top
5 worst. Maroon 5. That one stays in my memories for bad. That's kind of the one that like propelled them into like, hey, let's let Apple take over this thing. Like, let's let them and Jay-Z figure out who's going to be performing.
I don't know if y'all are on. You guys are both Spotify, right?
Yeah.
So I really like what Apple Music does leading up to the Super Bowl. They have like playlists from the players that they use for like their Get Hype. And then they do like a road to the Super Bowl. So it's like, if you haven't heard of this, like, here's the songs you should be keeping up with. They have the music video come out like immediately. They do the set list right after. So it's like actually having a music company do it as opposed to Pepsi or whatever it was before. Like overall, the whole like the experience around it has been really cool since they took over as well.
Did you all see or notice the NFL agent kind of panic and unpreparation? You know, usually they're preparing the players for, you know, whatever questions they're going to get. Like, hey, don't, you know, if they ask you anything political, like, you know, give something super PR friendly. They did not prepare them for the question of, hey, how do you feel about Bad Bunny as the halftime show?
Oh my God! Yes, I saw that.
It was
like I can't name a single song. I don't know him like that.
Yeah, they were like, it was one of the Seahawks players. He was like, yeah, grown ass man in his 30s saying, he was like, yeah, I wish it was NBA YoungBoy. Who the fuck? What are you, like, come on, man.
All right, that would be a good one. I will say, I gotta. My phone's about to die, and I gotta take off. We're closing up the shop, but I will say that when the game started, one of my artists that's not a football fan was sitting here, and then the player introductions came on, and she was like, "Wait, is this a Key and Peele sketch?" And I was like, because they were doing the player introductions, she was like, wait, is this like from the Key and Peele sketch? I was like, no, this is what they do. And she's like, oh, now I get it. But yeah, I'll give you. But if I can give you guys the final thoughts on the commercials, very weak batch. The Good Will Dunkin one was like just
Amazing.
a brain fart of just a brain fart of emotions, like everything that's bad about advertising, but also like nostalgic and just I don't know what the fuck was going on there. And
What was the other one I said that I
the one with Adrian Brody, I have no idea what was going on with that one. I honestly I was tattooing for the second half, so I was a little out of it but I just didn't get anything that sucked me in or that made me like stop. The karaoke one was interesting for Coinbase, but other than that, I just didn't get a lot of it.
Oh, the Raisin Bran. That one was amazing. Did you guys see that?
I don't remember it.
I don't remember that one too. I think that one came a little bit after the halftime.
It was William Shatner, but he kept saying that he was William Shat. So there was just a bunch of like.
Oh, the tight end one was pretty good too.
That tight end was interesting. So it's like, oh, Will Shat on a car because Will Shatner was like physically standing on a car. And then he comes, it's like, have some Raisin Bran. Nice Shih Tzu. So like the whole thing was just like trying to say shit and shat as much as possible throughout the whole thing without being offensive.
I gotta go back and watch them.
That explains why people were freaking out. Like people saw William Shatner eating a bowl of cereal somewhere in a car, and they were like, isn't he like 90? Why is he eating cereal? Okay, it was for the Super Bowl. Okay, that makes a little more sense.
That and the Uber Eats, I've been appreciating the McConaughey and was it Bradley Cooper ones for that. So the fact that they did like a whole thing together, I very much enjoyed that.
All right, gentlemen, I'm gonna take off.
Have a good night, Luis.
Happy Super Bowl post-stop. I'll talk to you guys soon. Baseball season.
Oh yeah, dingers.
Later.
Yeah, the Uber Eats commercial. The only thing I was a little disappointed about, Bradley Cooper, just continuous Eagles representation in that, right?
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey is a diehard Commanders fan, big time Washington fan.
Represent my guy.
Put some burgundy and gold on or something, man. Come on, like why are you letting this Eagles fan rep right in front of you the whole time? I know he's wearing green and it's Uber Eats is green, but come on. I hate it.
John Bernthal needs to start repping too.
Yeah, he does. Oh my God, a Punisher, him wearing like a burgundy and gold Punisher uniform. Oh, for the most part, I have to agree. And I've come to expect it with the Super Bowl commercials. I look forward to them every year, but I keep low expectations because it seems like the more expensive the advertising space is getting, which is like $10 million per 30 seconds this year, like the less creativity goes into it and more like let's just throw some stars in here because we're already paying the money.
Yeah.
Good Will Dunkin.
And even for the movie trailers, it's like watch the whole trailer on YouTube now. It's like why didn't you just put it, like I get it, it's a 2-minute trailer for a 30-second slot, but like
you're my fellow nerd in arms here. The Mandalorian and Grogu TV spot there. There were some Star Wars fans that were upset about that and saying they were like, that was super underwhelming. I was really mad about that. Scarif podcast.
I mean, I just scrolled past the trailer. I'm like waiting to like watch it in all of its glory.
I saw, when that popped up and I was seeing what it was, I was like, this is kind of funny. I'm kind of proud of Star Wars making fun of another brand and doing a beer commercial with fucking Sam Elliott narrating the commercial. Like that's pretty funny. It's making me a little excited for that movie because everything has looked really retro and like they're just aiming for fun. Like this is, it's the first Star Wars movie in theaters in 6-7 years or so. I know what I did. But yeah, not a lot of movie trailer hype this year. It was kind of cool seeing Brad Pitt in The Adventures of Cliff Booth teased a little bit, and that's going to be the out of nowhere sequel to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that Tarantino blessed David Fincher.
That trailer was great.
It was really cool, wasn't it?
Because it was like now available for all audiences, the way they like wrote it in, and then they kept like scribbling out like all the things they couldn't say or do. But then they never said the movie name and just had the Netflix logo come up at the end. I was like, wait, what the fuck is this?
That's a flex. And then you're going to look it up. That's flex viral marketing. Yeah.
Yeah. That was clever.
There wasn't really anything that stood out to me. The Jurassic Park commercial I enjoyed.
I think I saw that.
But I noticed there was a lot, and it happened in the Dunkin' commercial too. The de-aging, it still doesn't look right. Like, it, for the most part, looked okay during the Dunkin' commercial until Jennifer Aniston popped up.
When Joey Tribbiani popped up, I was like, whoa.
Yeah, whoa.
That was unintentional, but I'm glad
it hit.
Was good enough.
Yeah, it worked. It got me.
I guess I've seen it enough.
Yeah, got Griffin. I don't really, I can't, and that's probably the worst mark is I can't really remember any other commercials outside of that. The Danny McBride, Keegan-Michael Key one kind of disappointed me. I was kind of expecting
there was so much hype around that too. And I was just waiting for Cat's Eye on that one because they were like on one of the talk shows, like, yeah, make sure you watch the commercial because Cat's Eye is going to be in, but it was for like 2 seconds just dancing on the road.
Yeah. So
it's like, all right, that's cool, I guess.
The polar bear for Pepsi. If I'm at Coca-Cola,
I hated that. That would hurt.
If I'm an executive at Coca-Cola, I'm just punching the TV. I was like, how could you do this?
That one hurt.
Now they're going to melt.
As a hater of Pepsi, that one hurt.
They're going to just represent global warming now and just kill off all the polar bears.
And then they were like, oh yeah, I know there's a lot of weight on this. And then he broke the chair. I was like, you're calling him fat now too?
Was that Taika Waititi as the therapist?
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, and I think he directed the weird Scarlett Johansson, Bowen Yang, John Hamm commercial that I didn't understand what was happening there.
Yeah, I just remember seeing John Hamm. Luis brought up the tight ends commercial for the prostate testing.
I'm happy that commercial happened.
I facepalmed, but it was really well done. It's because it was well done. It was because Gronk was the one that said, like, loosen your tight end. Was that the line?
And he was probably so happy to get that line.
He asked for it. He probably came up with it, let's be honest.
It probably took so many takes because he just couldn't stop giggling. But it's a good advertisement. It's something I didn't know that was, I didn't know that was a thing. I just always assumed that the test was still, the finger going straight up. But, that's good to know.
There was a whole Letterkenny episode about that.
Yeah, so that's great.
Did you know on the test I go...
What's up? Yeah, outside of that, it was a fine Super Bowl. It was a fun day. I look forward to the day all the time. I was hoping that they would have left Tony Dungy on Alcatraz, and after they
I felt about Collinsworth.
Just leave. Did you know that there's another Collinsworth? He's not Chris, but it's Jack Collinsworth, and he is also he's a host at NBC. They had him at Alcatraz with Tony Dungy and Rodney Harrison, where it looked like Rodney Harrison was going to fight Tony Dungy because, Tony Dungy, they asked him, they're like, did you vote for Bo Belichick to get into the Hall of Fame? He was like, I'm not going to disclose my vote. Okay, buddy. All right, we know what that is then. But it was a good day. It was a good time. Look forward to the Super Bowl every year. We will do a full season postmortem.
Oh, yes? Sorry. I do have football news.
What?
So when we started recording, I opened up X and it was like, it said 1 hour ago, Clint Kubiak was officially the Raiders head coach. Like it was from the NFL's thing.
So wait, so that's our guy.
And then I got distracted because we were talking about things. But yeah, it's official.
It's good for him.
And that was the first meme that I sent you of like the carrying Spider-Man out, like, careful, he's a hero. It's like Seahawks fan kicking Kubiak out of Seattle after winning a Super Bowl. Welcome
to winning. This is what happens. You start losing your offensive coordinator every year.
Yeah.
Look at the Rams. That's a good segue into what I was going to get into here, because we'll do a full season post-mortem and look into next year at a different time. But here in our last few minutes of the show, I do want to talk about both teams and what this finale means for them going forward. with the Seahawks losing Clint Kubiak, who I think people can talk shit about the Raiders all they want. We talk shit about the Raiders all we want. I think that's a good fit. And I think that's going to be a really good fit with Fernando Mendoza and his game if he can, kind of replicate that offense that he's generated for Sam Darnold. And they got, some good, cool young weapons with Ashton Genty and Brock Bowers there. So it should be good for him. But the Seahawks, Zoo, every year, like, immediately the betting odds for the next Super Bowl winner is the current reigning champion. Do you see the Seahawks team being able to continue to succeed, or is this something that could fall apart? Because looking at it right now, I'm looking at their unrestricted free agents coming up. Their Rashid Shaheed, who they traded for midseason, and he was a really big bump for their offense and their special teams. He's supposed to hit free agency. Boye Mafe, one of their starting edge rushers, he's expected to go into free agency. Kenneth Walker, the Super Bowl MVP, his voice surprised me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, when he spoke, that's the first time I heard him spoke, and I can understand why. That surprised me. Good for him though. Josh Jobe, one of their corners, is expected to be a free agent. Kobe Bryant, Tariq Woolen, who was really quiet in this game, they're all expected to hit free agency. And now they're losing their offensive coordinator, Kubiak, and whoever he might take from the offensive staff to join him. What do you think is a better bet on them? Making the Super Bowl next year or not making the playoffs?
Making the Super Bowl, because those defensive free agents are because they're stacked at those positions. So the ones that they do need on defense, I think they have the flexibility to be able to re-sign. But like the Mafe, Woolen, and the other cornerback, they said Job, right?
Yeah.
They have Imanwari and Witherspoon, right? So it's like those are kind of luxury pieces for them when it comes to a cap space perspective, and that's why those guys are going to be available. I would be very, very surprised if they do not re-sign Walker or Shaheed, just because of how valuable they've been, especially Shaheed being a big special teams player. And I think their special teams is very underrated. Like, the amount of punts that they had at the 1 yard line, like making Drake Maye work, was insane during that game today. It really is going to, so I feel like Seattle is going to have like a defensive dynasty for a little bit. Like, they're going to have a reputation of like, these are the guys to beat when it comes to defense. But when it comes to offense, I think that's where the question comes in of like, what is the post-Kubiak era going to look like? They fired their offensive coordinator last year because of them being mid. They brought in Darnold to pair with Kubiak because they've worked well together. So does not having him set back Darnold a little bit? Is the offensive line actually good enough, or does it need some fortification? What does the running game look like with Walker and Charbonnet? Is that still like beyond average, or is it actually something to fear? And then, like I said, there's a big fall off between JSN and then going down to like Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp's incredible, but he's not like that higher top tier level, right? So do they invest in pass catching tight ends? Do they draft another wide receiver? Do they draft an edge rusher? So I think the offense is going to be the question, but for the foreseeable future, they're going to have a defense that's going to keep their offense in game. So if they still have that explosive playmaking ability going into next year, I think they are capable of being close to a Super Bowl again, but we're not going to know until the season starts and we get an answer to like what that offensive identity is.
Yeah, I have to.
And Mike Kafka, that's the dude from Giants, I think, is kind of like the leading runner to fill that OC spot,
which isn't bad. He wasn't a bad play caller and a bad schemer. And with the Giants, it was an unfortunate situation that he got handed down. He wasn't ready to be a head coach, for sure, over there. But I definitely I don't see them missing the playoffs. I do think a Super Bowl run is going to be tougher, especially if the NFC can accelerate a little bit and NFC can catch up to the AFC. AFC was a powerhouse this year for the most part.
NFC is dangerous, dude.
NFC is getting dangerous for sure. Chicago is going to be a threat. They'll continue to be a threat and continue to grow. Will Philly get their shit together? Will Washington get their shit together? Could Dallas, make some improvements enough? They were looking dangerous at times. The Rams, we already know, are going to try and make one more run at this while they have Stafford in his window. And the 49ers are just a consistent threat, but, electricity might take them out.
Yeah. Do the Lions get it back together?
Right. The Lions, Packers, even the Vikings at that point. And, the NFC South is there. So,
it exists, yes.
I
mean, Stefanski with those offensive Atlanta weapons, is that going to be a factor?
That's honestly, I think that could be a factor. Will the Panthers continue to grow? They almost took out the Rams in the first round here.
Kellen Moore had what's his face show, right?
Shuck. Yeah, Shuck. Yeah, Shuck you. Yeah.
Whatever. Whenever he started, I think it was as of week 10, they were leading the division in wins.
Yeah.
They have potential to develop at some point.
Right. And John Harbaugh's with the Giants now. So really, there's hope for a lot of teams in here. And my concern with Seattle is age a little bit. I love their defense, but DeMarcus Lawrence, Leonard Williams, those are two dudes who are centerpieces of that D-line and that pass rush. They are getting a little older. Obviously, they don't look like they've lost a step. But, you never know what's going on season to season. Reek Woolen and Kobe Bryant are cool, but like you said, they have Emenwari and Witherspoon, who are both better. They will be the considerable threats. It's just about replacing that depth and replacing those pieces to help you on the sides there. And with offense, if you lose Rashid Shaheed, I do worry about Cooper Kupp getting older. He's not that same threat. Obviously, you can still utilize him and get a little bit out of him, but my scare comes at the running back position with Kenneth Walker. I love Kenneth Walker, but he's not the most consistent running back, right? And after a long season and a full postseason run, you worry a little bit about the usage on these dudes. And you have Charbonnet there, but he's coming off a torn ACL, which I think leads you to have to really lean more towards re-signing Kenneth Walker than you probably planned on going into the postseason. It's just then about how much money are you going to be signing Kenneth Walker to at that point? Is it going to be worth it? Do you draft a guy to go with it? I think the best part about this is the dude that they kept showing through the night, which is their GM, John Schneider, who has been an incredible architect of this team. He has been with the team for 16 years. He was with them on their last Super Bowl runs. Honestly, that's a GM that you can trust, kind of like Howie Roseman in Philly. You can trust him to just keep that team competitive and keep that franchise competitive. I think there will be a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover for them, but that's a team that I'm excited about, and they're going to continue to be a threat, and they're going to continue to be a menace in the NFC.
So the Seahawks only have 3 draft picks, and it's 1, 2, and 3.
Oof.
Rounds 1, 2, and 3.
So yeah, then you're going to have to acquire something. You're going to have to trade, trade some little depth pieces to try and get some more picks, because I think that's going to be your best shot, is trying to build your depth through the draft this year. And there's some good sneaky players that you can pick up around the place. I mean, Nick Singleton is a really good running back from Penn State who's going to fall deep down the draft to probably round 6, round 7. That's somebody I could see in Seattle that fits their scheme really well. He got a foot injury, so that brought him down. But if you have Charbonnet and you have Ken Walker, you can afford to have a rookie running back behind them and waiting on.
Yeah, they're definitely going to attract interest in the free agency too, of just people wanting to play with them.
Absolutely, and play for that fan base. On the other side, the Patriots felt pretty rough for Drake Maye, and we haven't talked about them too much, but I want to give him the excuse and the benefit of the doubt, say hey, it's his second year. It's his second year in the league. He got this far, but he looked rough throughout the postseason. But that's also something that comes with inexperience. And then people bring up the point, Jalen Hurts, had a near perfect game his second starting year and, making it to a Super Bowl. So, you have these things here. But ultimately, I want to ask how you feel about New England's future, because I feel like it's relatively good. I love Mike Vrabel as their head coach. I don't think that this is going to be the dynasty that they had of Brady and Belichick, but this is going to be a menacing team in the AFC and somebody that's just going to be a pain in the ass going forward, especially if they can bring in some more skill position help at wide receiver, upgrade from the drama that's Stephon Diggs. Kayshon Boutte, we love. That's our guy. He's the face of the memorial betting slip. But you need a legit number one, and maybe you could take a certain receiver away from Philadelphia that I hate kind of seeing twice a year.
You're not getting rid of drama by doing that, though.
You know what? He's a good boy that reads. Let him go to New England. Let him go there. They are not losing a lot in free agency. Austin Hooper, like their backup tight end. He pronounced his name, and it was not what I expected. But Chasen, the edge rusher, he's supposed to go to free agency. Otherwise, they don't really have major losses projected coming up in free agency. So, how do you feel about the Patriots, the New England Patriots, going forward?
Yeah, I think you get that go-to wide receiver and fortify the offensive line a little bit more. Make sure Drake May can be comfortable and actually get the ball out. That would help. He does a good job with his legs. I think like his processing seemed a little bit slow. So, I mean, there was points, and I'm sure it was just because he was under so much pressure, where it's like the slot receiver would just be open and he wouldn't like clock it until like way late.
Yeah.
So I think May just needs time to develop. I think he just needs the wide receivers to have chemistry with, and he just needs a little bit more protection. But that defense is solid. They what's the word I'm looking for? Statistically, had a chance up until the very end.
Yeah,
just couldn't pull through. So yeah, I think it's just going to be time, experience, and a couple of extra weapons, and Josh Allen and the Jets are going to be having a jolly old time in the AFC East.
You don't even throw the Dolphins in there. Don't even worry about them.
I don't know what to expect of.
It's honestly future. Like
who's your coach again?
Jeff Hafley from the Packers, the Packers defensive coordinator.
Oh right, I did like his opening presser.
Yes, one of the sweetest guys in the NFL. Apparently,
yeah,
is what
but Tua's still there. So
yeah. They've been talking about Tua, and they were saying the Dolphins and the Arizona Cardinals both want to get rid of their quarterbacks. Could they trade their number one for the other one's number one? God, that would suck to have to go right.
Trade their number one for their number one,
yeah,
like just trade quarterbacks.
Yeah, Tua wears the number one. Kyler wears the number one.
Oh, the jersey numbers. Okay.
Well, yeah, that too. It would be like the great value version of the Rams and the Lions swapping Jared Goff and Matt Stafford. Instead, you're just swapping mid.
Yeah, because I don't think either of them deserve to trade players along with that or picks along with that.
Yeah, let's just wipe our hands and call it a day. Hey, you take this guy, I'll take this guy. Okay,
so funny.
That would be great. Zuhair Ali, host of Zoo's Views. It's been a fun NFL season, a fun Super Bowl.
I do have a final point.
I do want to ask you any final thoughts, final views of Zoo going into
NFLshop.com. If you have a giant ass banner that says order now to get before Super Bowl, fucking deliver it before the Super Bowl.
Oh no.
Not say I'm going to get it 2 days before. And the day I'm going to get it, be like, just kidding, you're getting it after. Fuck off, NFLshop.com. Do better.
What did you
we're sorry because of the inclement weather. It's in fucking Arizona. Did the whopping 60 degrees set you back?
It did. Be surprised.
Fuck you, UPS. And fuck you, NFLshop.com.
Fuck you, NFLshop.com.
But other than that, go Seahawks.
And Fanatics. Fuck Fanatics. I heard about everything that was happening this week where people were just saying it was just off because they did not prepare for the Seahawks or Patriots to be good. or to be Super Bowl teams, so they just did not prep. They did not have good.
What?
They did not have good merch. They did not have good uniform. Like nothing was good at the shops at the Super Bowl. Like it was just Seahawks and Patriots fans complaining that they said they can't find shit for their team at these Super Bowl shops down in San Francisco. I don't know if it was a good time there, and hopefully it'll be better in LA next year. But it didn't.
Dude, you got to see that stadium.
I really want to go. Maybe
that's an experience.
Maybe the NFL can, avenge what has happened to you, trying to get your merch ahead of time by, bringing us to the Super Bowl. We'll pay our way.
I had my trusty beanie.
You do have your trusty beanie. You are my trusty beanie. Did you know it was $400 for parking around the Super Bowl today? I'm good on going, actually. I just thought about that.
Spot Hero. That's what I used last time. Not for a Super Bowl, obviously, but for a SoFi game. Spot Hero works out in Anaheim or wherever the fuck it is.
Parking spots were like $400, and it was like $200 for an Uber. To if you're going like 10 miles.
That just sounds normal.
I guess it could be. Who knows? But also next year, Super Bowl, Valentine's Day, coming on the same day. So that's going to be an interesting time. It's going to be an interesting weekend. And I think it's going to be the first one that ABC and Disney get. So we get to have a nice date with Troy Aikman and Joe Buck. Threesome.
I don't hate it more than Collinsworth.
Oh, Collinsworth. 5 of his 6 Super Bowls with the Patriots. Oh, buddy, I have had a day. My tummy is ready for the hangover.
It's 1:10 a.m. people, Monday morning.
1:10 a.m. here. We're here for you in the morning on Monday. It's a legit Sunday hangover. Again, follow the 323 Network on YouTube. We will have a full NFL season hangover. Eventually, we're going to be talking about everything that we have thought about the season and pretty much a very early view into next season. And speaking of views, you can check out Zoo's Views on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get podcasts. You get to Zoo's Views. That's hosted by that guy right there, Zuhair Ali. Thank you for being here, buddy. Yeah. Again, follow me at 323 Reid, at 323 REID on all social media. We will be giving you updates on AwesomeCon at the Walter E. Washington Convention Center in Washington, D.C., March 13th through 15th. Be there, be square, and come watch some, 323 Family Feud. It's a fun time, a good time. You can win something. You could win a giant set of balls that we put under your chair. Scott always hides that. You'll find it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. In the meantime, folks, enjoy your week. Work off those wings. Work off that buffalo chicken dip and everything.
All much pizza this weekend.
So much food. So much food. Stay safe, folks. We'll talk to you later.
Go Hawks!
Go Bow Bunny.